YP Speaks podcast series. In this series, we bring to you experience sharing by young professionals. I'm your host, Anupama Thakur, and I'll be traveling with you through today's story. This is episode 1, and today we are talking about honing leadership and communication skills. Now it's time to welcome our guest for today, Mr. Nikhil Arora. He is an electrical engineer by profession and working in electronics company Western Digital as a system design engineer with keen interest in computer science. He loves to travel, explore new cafes, play badminton, and sketch sometimes. He believes in managing minutes so the hours take care of themselves. Are you all ready to get crushed with value? So let's go for it and welcome our guest, Mr. Nikhil. So, hi Nikhil, thank you for being here, and it's a pleasure to be with you. So, I welcome you and I invite you for your experience sharing as a young professional. Yes, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Anupama. First of all, I feel great being here on the podcast with you. It's an amazing opportunity, and I thank the entire young professional community and the IEEE Delhi section for taking this initiative and putting down this podcast. Moving on to my professional career, it's just a start. It's fourth year or third year, in fact. And I think I have grown a lot, at least from what I thought when I started the journey. There were slumps, there were ups and downs, but overall, the environment that has been in Western Digital, where I work right now, is very conducive and it's very helpful. All the team members are really supportive to each other, be it the technical front or the other fronts as well. It's a good start, I'll say. I see the way how I thought the corporate life will be. It's much better than what I thought. Over to you.
So thank you, Nikhil. So going to the first question that our listeners would really like to know is that what made you join IEEE and how it helped you in your career?
Thank you, Anupama. Thanks that you asked this question. It's a really interesting story. So in my first year, I was mostly aligned to the cultural side of the club, cultural side of the college. We have a very, very expansive cultural and technical side in Punjab Engineering College. And I was more into debating or organizing and all these activities. I was a member of IEEE, but I didn't had really that knack of going and involving. So one of these activities, I was involved with my own department, and there my HOD linked me with one of the senior from fourth year to do some website work. Some content has to be created. And that guy, my senior, he was also IEEE vice chairperson. So from there, it actually got started, and he got kind of pulled me into, okay, now you have to do IEEE thing also. You have to come to workshops and everything. You are a member, you should come be more active. And once I started involving the activities, once I attended a workshop, and for the first time when I went for a contest, it was IEEE Bombay's zonals at Jaipur. And from there, there was no looking behind. From there, it's always went forward towards my IEEE. And the second part of your question, the career, my career actually started with an internship at SanDisk. SanDisk was bought by Western Digital, and I got a PPO from Western Digital only. So internship at SanDisk was another amazing, beautiful experience which happened in my life. And I owe a great deal to IEEE for that. I think in my interviews, coming from electrical background, I must tell you that I was the first guy, like in my year or the years before me, who was from electrical engineering department and was selected for SanDisk. SanDisk used to pick either CSC or EC people. So that means I didn't have much hopes that I'll be getting selected for SanDisk. But when I got into the interviews, the kind of questions they asked, I felt that all these parts I have done somewhere or the other in one project or the other project, whether I was being in one of the contests. And the kind of challenges which I faced during the contest, I explained them very freely. I was continuously telling, okay, this is a challenge and this is how I overcame. This was a technical glitch and we had only less time. All these things, I think that's what all clicked and I got the internship. So in one word, I owe my career, my at least initial part of my career to IEEE.
Oh, that's nice. So next, you started as a research intern at IIT Mandi to senior system design engineer at Western Digital. So how was your journey been throughout this?
Okay, that's a interesting perspective. So before being a research intern, like I went to research as a research intern at IIT Mandi after my final year, the 1 month gap that I had. And in my final year, I was part of a project. Uh, so this research intern was continuation of that project. I was working on pyroelectric materials with my professor in physics department at PEC, and I was a young research fellow. So my project was selected the pyroelectric material research for energy harvesting application. And to continue that work only, I had got the job already. So I had some free time, I'll say, and I utilized it to the most in my final year. And my professor had a connection in the IIT Mandi with another professor. So he thought probably we can do a joint research. And since I was available for 1 month or 1.5 months, he pushed me to go ahead and do a research intern at there as well and work with their professors, learn more things. And since I already had PPO, so once I came back, I guess I got around 10 days of home time and immediately I was off to on a flight to Bangalore. And I have loved my internship, so I knew what I am going into. I knew what is my team doing and what will be the type of work. So generally, what happens is once you are a new person, new joinee, you take 2-3 months to ramp up or even start up. For me, I think that was not the case. There was a ramp up cycle going on, so there was a training. Along with that, like I had a 50-50. 50% I was ramping up, and 50% I was doing a full time job on a one particular project. So it was really great, and having that kind of growth in initial 6 months, I think it proves a lot. It helps a lot because you reach a certain level, and from there you can explore much more, and you have much more opportunities to go ahead. And I got those opportunities, and I have led a project already within my 2.5 years of career. So it's a great job and great place to be at.
Yeah, so that's great to hear also. So you have a knack of taking leadership roles. You are a club president as well as your area director of Toastmasters International Society. So how do you keep a track on all of this?
That's that is the question which a lot of people have asked, and to be honest, I'm still searching the answer how exactly I'm able to manage. But I think planning part of it mostly helps. I have always been a good planner. Even my college time, I used to make sure that I plan for things. I had like our nation has a 5 year plan. I used to have a semester plan. Okay, this semester these are the projects I'm going to target. These are the clubs I'm running, and this is the activity which I want to get it done. So once you do that, you see, okay, this much time you have. This is how you have to allocate it. And I am a big fan of always carrying a diary or a notebook. That's what I preached, like literally preached in my final year when I was a IEEE chairperson.
Okay.
So that helps a lot, I think, to keeping track of all the activities. And right now, what I'm doing is there are much more responsibilities. And I think I got that confidence from my college life itself. During the college, since I had so much of work, so much of uh, so much places where my head was in, uh, that and able to pull those things off gave me a lot of confidence, and that I have to believe in myself and I can do it. So that's how I believe from the confidence point and the management point, I'm able to survive one day at a time.
Okay, so that's really a great motivation for all our listeners. So next, what's one thing you wish you had done and known when you began your career?
Okay. So when I began my career, I think one of the most important thing which everyone should be aware of is to have a very open view of the things which are being told to you. First point is that like you should be open to all kinds of feedbacks and
Okay.
good or bad,
Mhm.
because sometimes it happens that we have after college we immediately go for the job, and sometimes someone is giving you a positive feedback so that you can improve. They're giving from your perspective and you can take it as a negative and see that uh, okay, something is wrong, I'm not fit for it or something. So we should avoid that part. We should be positive about the things and we should be open. If you hear something, go about and talk to them more about it. Ask them specifics. Okay, why do you think so? If you have a doubt on that, having a open conversations is very important. People are mostly afraid of their managers. That is not the way to go. Most of the managers, I believe, at least the ones whom I have come across in my very, very short career, have been very, very helpful and have been very encouraging. So go have an interaction with them, and it's at it's start of your career. No one is expecting you to go right away. It's okay if you are a bit slow to catch up with the things. So they will only help you because they have done a lot of investment. They'll only help you, and their main aim is to improve you. Their main aim is not to criticize you. Their main aim is to improve you, and the way people do it in the way they feel fit. Second important thing will be uh, to always look at the big picture. If you are doing some work, see how it impacts the overall project, how it impacts the overall company. Like, what is the organizational structure? Go beyond your team, understand what other teams are doing, understand how, if you are in a product company coming from a product background, understand like you will be one specific part, but you should understand what all teams are coming together and putting what all kind of resources. That helps you understand different types of opportunities and helps you guide your career. Okay, this is what where you are and probably this is where you want to be in certain amount of time. These kinds of places you should be visiting, or these are the type of people you should be knowing. It helps a lot to have a very big picture of the entire organization structure and the project that you're working on.
Yeah, so these things will really help our listeners. So, what is the common myth about your profession that you really want to debunk?
Okay, so common myth, I believe, or common myth, I think that is it's two actually, and both I want to debunk. First is that most of the people think that I am some kind of IT job or doing coding day and night. So that's not the case. I am a memory system design engineer, and coding is has become like a small part of it. It's like small skill which you need to have. There will be some tools which will need some part of coding, but that's not the main job. That's not what I'm getting paid to do. Second is that I am doing some kind of hardware design. That's again not true. I People say that I'm a system design engineer, so some kind of designing or some kind of CAD work I'll be doing. That's again not the case. What I really work on is we are a memory systems engineer, so we understand the memory, how it works, and we kind of define the specifications for the product and how product should work. Define the algorithms, what a firmware team should execute or the coding team should execute. So it's in the middle of the two domains. It's not neither the coding or the pure design part of it. That's the two most common questions I get whenever I interact with any of my juniors about my job.
Okay. So, next, on the lines of leadership and its traits, what is a leader for you and how do endure leadership skills?
That's an interesting question. Thanks a lot, Anupama, for that. So, leadership for me, it's I think a part of my lifestyle, and it's in general also a part of everyone's lifestyle. I think everyone is a leader in one way or the other. Even you are a team member, you should have the leadership traits,
Yes.
because a leader is incomplete until unless he can work in a team. That's my very strong belief, and that's what I try to encourage in my team, or whether I'm leading or I'm being a team member. And few of the traits of a good leader will be, I believe, very active listening, understanding the things that your team is trying to convey. Second will be having a effective communication, because if you are taking a decision, then you should communicate it very clearly and make them understand, like get your team in confidence. Okay, this is the just telling the decision is not a good way to go. It's better to tell what is your thought process behind it. That helps the team to understand, and if they strongly believe in what you are doing or what your team is doing, then there is nothing better than that. They'll give 100% of it. uh, and then there are some very common ones, leadership traits: leading by example, being always optimistic, and being a realistic as well. So it's a combination of the two. Having an open mind, because as a leader you should always be open to feedback. That's very, very critical. You give feedback, that's part of your job, but to be a good leader you should be open to feedback as well. And I think it gets covered in the lead by example. You should demonstrate integrity. If you show integrity, your team will also show integrity towards you. That's what comes to my mind when I think of leadership, to be honest.
Okay. So a question aligned to your answer. Any tips on how to become a good communicator and to develop the art of communicating?
Okay, so I think to develop the communication skills is to start. That's the only thing which I have interacted with a lot of people. People think that communication is some for someone who are extroverts. That's absolutely not true. That's a very common misconception that if you're an introvert you don't have to communicate or something like that.
Yeah.
uh, Even if you are introverts in fact are one of the best people I have communicated with, because they have phenomenal conversations when you do go one on one with them. And so that is very important, especially in leadership. Having one on one conversations, having good one on one conversations. And similarly for extrovert also, to communicate, it's not just about projecting the energy or being over enthusiastic, but to convey your idea. And to learn to develop your communication skills, I have done couple of things. Like I have in my college I joined a debating society, and that helped to gain a lot of confidence. Now also I'm part of Toastmasters International, which is a communication and a leadership organization that promotes the communication and leadership. Simple way will be to practice as much as you can. uh, Go ahead, start somewhere. You will get, we should understand one thing: the communication, just because you can't speak, like I personally had a slight snag in my English or my grammar. It has improved over time, but just because you think you don't know English as a language so well, that doesn't mean that you cannot communicate so well. Language is just the tool which you are using. You will learn the technicalities of that tool, but communication is much bigger than that. Communication is much more important than just learning one specific language. That is a very common myth which I have seen people. Why do they don't want to become a communicator, or why do they don't want to? This is a very common question I come across, because there are a lot of members, and then when we interact with them, that how should we improve our communication, they say that our English is not so well. I say it doesn't matter. If you want to speak, you come and say it. Will improve the language slowly and steadily. It will improve, but you just have to start and come on the stage and speak. That's the only way to improve communication. There is no other way. You can read thousands of books, but until unless you go ahead and go speak, like coming here and speaking, there's no other option to improve the communication without the practice.
Yeah, so great tips to all our listeners. So moving ahead, what advice would you like to give to our listeners who want to pursue a career similar to yours? So where our listeners can connect with you online?
Okay, so I'll answer the second part first. To connect with me online, I think LinkedIn is the best tool. you can send me a request, and just don't send the request. Also send a message so that I know that how you know me or how I know you, because I get requests, a lot of requests these days, but I generally only accept if I know the person. Another one will be Instagram. That's a common thing. You can search Nikhil Arora, you'll find, and on LinkedIn also, Nikhil Arora should be fine to search me. Facebook, I'll not accept. There's a good chance I'll not accept the request. It's kind of outdated, I think. It's no one uses it anymore apart from remembering friends' birthdays. Beyond that, so the first part of your answer was what steps or what advice I'll have for someone who wants to take my career path. Uh, I think if you are in college, focus on your subjects definitely, and beyond that, try to indulge in more and more more and more technical events, because subjects. What is the difference? What I feel is subjects have a defined curriculum, and there are kind of defined challenges. There is no surprises. But when you do a technical project, there are timelines. You have to submit a project, or you have to go and participate somewhere. And I have done different project every semester, and there was a different type of challenge. Even though I planned 2 days before or 1 day before, something will fail, irrespective whatever you do. And to be able to handle that pressure, to be able to overcome that challenge, that develops you as a person, that develops your personality, and that's what corporates are looking for today. the, you should be able to deliver on time, and you should be able to manage challenges and the pressure which comes with that. That's all about corporate, because whatever you'll be learning right in college, that's just the base. It cannot be directly applied in the company. There will be a lot of training that you'll go through in the company. It's your attitude which will matter, and it's your ability to take those challenges that makes you sellable. I think that's what is my one advice, and that's what I think have helped me a lot, and to develop overall. That's the only advice. Go ahead and do as many technical projects as you can. Don't worry, works doesn't works. You'll figure out something. You will, if you get into the knack of it. You Once you become a problem solver, there is nothing, no one stopping you. Just become a problem solver. Just have that attitude. That's it.
So that's a great advice to all our listeners. So next, what are your plans for next few years?
Okay, so I believe I'll continue what I am doing right now. I think I'll take this question in a bit broader format.
Yeah.
Maybe address what I plan to do over time. Eventually, where do I see it? So, sorry for tweaking your question a bit. Uh, but I think eventually I see myself enabling more people, either being an entrepreneur, either having my own company, or being a part of existing organization at a higher upper management level, where I enable the projects, enable more to the society, either in a technical format or in a social format. It's kind of that's what I see. One of the two things probably I'll be doing over the time, or that's what my aim is to reach at.
Okay, so that's nice. So now a few rapid fires. Okay. So what is your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory. I think my grandmother used to live in Sector 22, Chandigarh. So going for a Chocobar ice cream in that market, there's a Berka booth, I think. That's one memory that comes to my mind. It's really great. That's one.
Okay. So favorite food?
Ice cream. I think that is easy.
Okay.
But
So
I'm a foodie. I like everything. Veg. But yeah, everything.
Okay. So favorite book?
I'll say Wings of Fire by Abdul Kalam and Mr. Tiwari.
Okay.
That's one
Favorite.
which have inspired me a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So favorite movie?
Favorite movie. I'm also a movie buff. I watch a lot of movies. It's difficult to pinpoint to one, but I like most of the work of Christopher Nolan. And the most watched movie I believe is Harry Potter series. I have watched it too many times. That's you can call me a Potterhead if you want. Yeah, that's the one way to go.
Okay, so favorite engineering subject?
That is difficult. I think physics and digital electronics. Digital, mostly digital electronics. Yeah.
Okay, and favorite quote?
Favorite quote. Again, too many. I keep on reading one or the other. It's difficult to pinpoint. I'm really sorry. I can't. Nothing comes to my mind. At suddenly. Yeah, too many, too many.
Okay, so any, specific advice to our listeners at the end?
Specific advice will be whatever you do, enjoy and give it your best. Like try. If you're enjoying it, then you will eventually automatically learn from it also. And that's all I think. Don't take every word for what I have said. Just one example. You can carve your own path. That's very important. And having a mentor generally helps. That's what I have seen across. I had a lot of mentors, juniors, seniors, taking their advice and understanding how things work out. That helps. Have a mentor right from the start. Generally, that's one thing people miss out on. I believe that will be a good way to start.
Okay, so that's really great, Nikhil. Thank you for your time and thank you for your tips. So hopefully all our listeners have really noted them down and they'll follow in coming future. So thank you, Nikhil, and thank you to all our listeners. So make sure you join our Facebook and LinkedIn pages and where you'll find the other upcoming podcast. So thank you and stay tuned. Yes, take
Thank
care,
you. Thanks a
everyone.
lot, Anupama.
Thank
All
you.
the best for your future endeavors. Thanks a lot.